What to do about Iran? I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Deal or no deal? That, of course, the big question. The answer lies in how President Trump decides to respond to a developing peace proposal between the United States and Iran. Let's go to Tel Aviv, Israel, to get more from Fox Business Network's Ashley Webster.
If it feels like we've been here before, we have several times, but it does appear that a deal between the U.S. and Iran is as close as it has been. And as we've been told, the president is now mulling over the framework of a peace deal. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But in the meantime, Vice President Vance says the whole process is moving forward.
We do think they're negotiating, at least so far, in good faith, and we're making some progress.
President Trump highlighted the two key areas in this proposal, posting on Truth Social that Iran must agree that they will never have a nuclear weapon or bomb. He also says the Hormuz Strait must be immediately open. No tolls for unrestricted shipping traffic in both directions.
Earlier this week, President Trump said he's not rushing into any deal. The former Attorney General testifying on Capitol Hill about the Justice Department's Epstein investigation. Here's Fox's Jared Halpern with more from the White House.
Former Attorney General Pam Bondi met behind closed doors for a transcribed interview with the House Oversight Committee. But Democrats say she refused to answer questions about President Trump's role in the release of files from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon attended the session and says there were limits on what could be discussed.
There were ground rules laid with the committee before we walked in there, and we simply wanted to stick to those.
Bondi conceded there were redaction errors made, but in an opening statement defended the Justice Department's work and its compliance with the law. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A newly released poll shedding some light into the race for California's next governor, days ahead of the state's primary election. We have Fox's Kristen Goodwin with more.
UC Berkeley's Institute of Governmental Studies surveying nearly 8,600 California voters, finding Democrat Javier Becerra holding a lead in the race for governor, with 25% supporting the former Health and Human Services Secretary. President Trump-backed conservative commentator Steve Hilton trails with 21% support. And Democrat billionaire Tom Steyer follows in third with 19%. They're part of a crowded field of hopefuls looking to replace California Governor Gavin Newsom, who is term limited. The state's primary election is Tuesday. The top two gubernatorial candidates, regardless of party, will face off in the November election. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
The U.S. Postal Service proposing some new rules today that would require states to submit voter lists. Here's Fox's Carmen Roberts.
The U.S. Postal Service is proposing new rules requiring states to provide lists of voters who received mailed ballots for federal elections, including names and barcodes. The move follows a federal judge's decision not to immediately block President Trump's executive order on mail-in voting. Critics, including Democratic senators, argue the order would illegally transform the USPS into an election administration agency. Another court hearing on a separate challenge to the president's voting order is set for Tuesday. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
The public would have 30 days to comment on the postal plan before the Trump administration could finalize it. And a federal judge ruling today President Trump's name was illegally added to the Kennedy Center and blocked the administration from closing the cultural and arts venue for major renovations. And U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper in Washington, D.C. ruled the Kennedy Center Board's March 16th vote to close the facility was ill-informed and seemingly preordained with no regard for its legal obligations. I'm John Saucier, and this is Fox News.